Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, good. What state are you in?
New Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know it's miserable, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm actually born in New Jersey, so I'm giving you a hard time. I was raised
Oh,
in
okay.
Las Vegas. Yeah, I was born in Long Branch.
Oh, no, okay, nice. Exit 105, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. I was a little young. I wasn't. I was pre-driving. I was only 5, so it was like 1 year before I started driving.
Okay, I'm about a 3 minute drive from the GWB, right on the Hudson River.
Nice, man. What you got, brother?
So two-parter for you. First one is a pretty simple one that everybody seems to argue with me, and I just want a clarification on it. On a motor vehicle stop, let's just say bullshit Title 39 offense. You just stop the car, end up finding out a single occupant driver has a warrant, and you arrest him right outside of his driver's door. Search incident to arrest. Inside the car, yes or no?
No, so look, okay, look. I'm gonna let John take this one first. But I think he might need. John may have some follow-up questions on that. But John, who loves teaching in New Jersey. Actually, you've had some pretty big classes in New Jersey, John. But anyway, what you got?
Can you search it? So it depends, right? When you pull that dude out for the warrant, the vehicle, it is parked on the side of the road. You have two options under Arizona versus Gant. You can leave him out of handcuffs and within reaching distance of the lunge or grab area of the vehicle and search it incident to arrest. I don't recommend you ever do that. That's asinine. Don't risk your life just so you can search the lunge or grab area with zero level of articulation. And in this case, you are arresting him for a warrant, so you don't have any reason to believe that there is evidence of the offense of arrest inside the vehicle. So only the first test under Gant is going to apply with regard to search incident to arrest.
Okay. All right. That's pretty much what I thought.
No, hold on, we're not done with you because
Don't
this
do
is
it.
a very common issue. But wasn't there a footnote in Gant that actually said that cops should not do that? Do you remember that, Zach? Am I
Yes.
off?
Yeah. After on the first prong, they said if officers intentionally leave the arrestee unsecured, I'm paraphrasing, but
Yeah.
contrary to normal police practices, that might self itself be unreasonable, rendering the
Yeah.
search unreasonable. Yeah.
It's like in Chimmel, like the search and arrest, where you move the guy around the
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
so
Right.
you can
Yeah.
like search his dresser drawer, right? So John
Right.
brings up a good point there. But here's the thing, Julian. I gotta tell you, can I just, I mean, look, I'm not trying to give you, but like my New Jersey cops, and I've taught in New Jersey for many years, and I'm a New Jersey barred attorney. They really like to play fast and loose with the rules. Would you agree with that to some degree? Like they like to ride that line, you know?
It depends where, but
Depends where, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It depends where,
yeah.
yeah. So, and the reason I bring this up is because this is like a good example. Like, if the guy's out of the car and he's going to be handcuffed, like John said, safety comes first, right? And the car's going to be left there parked, and there's no probable cause for the vehicle, so we don't have a search under wit. We're done, you know. But they want to call it some kind of search and arrest, which we could do prior to 2009. Actually, that's actually not true. New Jersey had its own version of Arizona versus Gant before Gant came out. I just that I don't know. I don't want cops to make bad case law there, right? We already have like our problems there. We already have our courts kind of giving us a hard time, and some things have been made easier with canine searches, and we now have somewhat of a motor vehicle exception in New Jersey now. I just don't want to ruin it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only 2 cents I want to add there. But no, if they're out of the car and they're arrested, it's done.
So I
Okay.
don't I've never New Jersey's only one of a couple states I've never taught in, but don't they isn't there state law that says they don't recognize the vehicle search incident to arrest?
That's correct. They actually had that before Gant.
Yeah, they didn't recognize the Belton case. So that
That's
second
correct.
prong of Gant, excuse me, would that apply in New Jersey?
I
The
think it does.
evidence-based search?
I think it does. I do teach that it does because here's the deal. When they that case, whatever that case is,
I think it's Eckel. Eckel is the name of the
yeah,
case.
I think they're referring to that protective sweep issue, or just like searching as a matter of routine because they were, it was in their lunge area. They weren't really talking about search related evidence. In fact, I can say the opposite.
Yeah.
New Jersey, I said now, New Jersey's actually kind of weird. They actually had a case, maybe Echo, that said you can't do the Belton type search, right? Hey, I arrest you from the car, I search your car.
Right.
But New Jersey has long held that if you have a reason to believe that evidence of DUI is in the car, you could search it. So they had that lower not probable cause level of for DUI evidence. So
Okay.
they actually, in many ways, they've actually had Arizona versus Gant for a long time.
Right, but that's only where you can it has to be in areas where you can believe they could readily have alcohol accessible within the passenger compartment of the vehicle, correct?
Well, yeah, Gant itself is limited to just the passenger compartment if you're looking for evidence of the crime of arrest. So yeah, you
Right,
can't
but I'm speaking about the DWI aspect that
No,
Anthony
so you're
brought
wait,
up.
so hold on, let's get this straight. So let's say that I'm drunk, I'm a drunk in a DUI driver in New Jersey. And I tell the cop, yeah, I was drinking alcohol, right? At the park. And the cop says, all right, he arrests me for DUI. But before he arrests me, he says, hey, where was the alcohol? You brought alcohol to the park? Yes, sir. Where is it? It's in the trunk. And my car is not going to be towed. Gant does not allow me to search the trunk for the evidence.
No, but Carroll does in that case.
I think Gant does. I don't read Gant saying that it has to be somewhere. I read Gant as reason to believe offense-related evidence is that the car, you can search the vehicle for that evidence.
But they say passenger compartment in the holding.
I got to look at that again. John, is that how? Maybe that's how you read it too. That we can search the passenger compartment for the evidence of the. And hold on. There's other cases that come after Gant where they have searched trunks under
If
Gant.
the trunk is accessible from inside the passenger compartment, there's case law that allows it.
Hmm.
You mean like an SUV, like a hatchback?
Yes.
Yeah, like an SUV or something.
Okay.
Well, look, I have never taught that. I can tell you that right now. I've always taught, and that it seems reasonable to me. But I'm sorry, but if you have a reason to believe the evidence could be in the trunk of that crime, whether it's burglary tools or it's whatever it is, that I don't see why you can't open that trunk and get that evidence.
So
I mean, me personally, if he admits to having the alcohol that he just confessed to consuming, and he says it's in the trunk, I mean, I think me personally, I'm going to go in the trunk and get it.
Well, you're going to get it because at least you have PC. You have, right, Zach?
Yeah, that's PC. That's Carroll.
All right, I agree with that. I agree under those facts that even though alcohol in the trunk is not illegal in New Jersey, under these facts, it's evidence of the DUI.
Right.
John, do you have a 2 cents on this before we end this conversation?
I don't. I know that in Scalia's concurrence and in Alito's dissent, they make reference to the second prong applying to the vehicle.
Yeah. I'm gonna research that again. I'm glad you brought this up, Zach, because I've never taught it that way. I've always said just go where you think the evidence is, kind of like a Carroll type analogy. But I also think that's what sounds reasonable too.
Yeah, so my reason for that is, and it's because Gant is premised on Belton and Chamel, and Belton's holding was that the passenger compartment is within the reach of the occupants. The first prong applies only to the passenger compartment. You can search the passenger compartment when the arrestee is unsecured and near the vehicle for weapons and evidence. And then so it's because it's premised on Belton, because they didn't overrule Belton, they just clarified Belton.
Yeah.
Belton's holding is the passenger compartment, and all the containers therein are within the reach of the arrestee.
Okay.
I'm
not totally sold on that because I just don't think it makes sense to me that you have evidence that's in the trunk and you just can't get it now. You have to use something else. But I think that's something that I'm going to have to clarify, and I will eat crow next time we meet.
And check out Thornton too, because Thornton's where Belton.
Well, see, that's where I was going to go. Thornton
Gant comes from.
Yeah, I think Thornton is a good place to start too.
Yeah.
Okay.
John's entertained by this. Go ahead, Julian.
And then I just had another quick one that I recently had a situation with, and it pertains to the webinar that we just had with canines. Basically, traffic stop. I build my RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion, to call for a canine. He denies consent. I call for a narcotics canine. The narcotics canine comes, does not hit on the car. Then I'm thinking of calling for a bomb dog, which is specialized in weapons for gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't because I wasn't sure if I was able to continue to detain them if I was extending the stop too long. Even though I built my RAS, I just didn't know what they had in the car, but I was fairly confident there was something in the car based off of several factors.
What do you think, guys? John?
So you're identifying reasonable suspicion, right?
If I'm not mistaken, I wrote an entire report. I had about 12 reasonable articulable suspicions.
I do like that.
Yeah.
And so the question is, you have reasonable suspicion to believe that there is some kind of general criminal activity going on here. I think
precisely.
There's a big difference between the factors that are going to support the idea that there's narcotics in a vehicle versus there's, a reasonable suspicion that there's
An illegal weapon, I guess.
bomb in the car, right? Yeah.
Oh, right, or a legal gun.
Okay, but I mean, I think the factors that go to narcotics could also support the idea of a weapon. But if we're
So
Go
the only reason why this came up as a thought to me was because after reviewing my MVR footage, when I asked the driver, "Are there any weapons in the car?" I got a reaction, but I didn't notice the reaction in the heat of the moment. I noticed the reaction after I reviewed the entire stop. And that's when I was like, shit, I should have called for a bomb dog. I should have not called for a narcotics canine. But I called for the narcotics canine just based off of like, that's just the first thing I always go for.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You didn't have it at the time, right? So you run the dog doesn't alert. I think at that point, under Rodriguez, you need to get back to the mission of your traffic stop. If you start seeing more indications, like you say, hey, are there any weapons in the vehicle? And the guy gives you those verbal fillers like, no.
Right.
Or
There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. I love that one. There shouldn't be.
or they start target glancing, right? They're target glancing in the center console. They're target
That's what I
glancing.
got. I got the target glancing and I got the what? Repeat that again? Like,
Right.
But and Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong here, because we're talking New Jersey, right? We're talking New Jersey, and that definitely one of our outlier states.
Yep.
But if I'm seeing those things in the moment, I'm saying you've got RS to believe that the occupant is armed. Can you articulate dangerous? If you can.
Well, look, I think we have a problem with the gun in the car. I think that because New Jersey laws are the strictest in the nation, and by the way, they're mostly unconstitutional. And I don't know if Julian agrees with me or not, but New Jersey has a ton of unconstitutional gun laws. But as an officer enforcing these laws, if we have reasonable suspicion, there's a gun in the car, and they're not owning up to it. In fact, this might work even in Nevada. It might work in Tennessee. If we have a reasonable suspicion that there's a gun in the car, and they have all these deceptive indicators that they're like, no, because a lawful person like I carry a gun in New Jersey because I have Leosa, you know what I mean? So, but I tell the officer, yeah, there's a gun in here. What's the beef? It's right on my person, whatever. But if he has these indicators that there is a gun in the car, target glancing, and there shouldn't be a gun in the car, and whatever, and it's New Jersey, that's going to be a felony. So, right? I mean, so I think that he may have reasonable suspicion under these facts.
I would agree. And especially like you're talking about, we've got these draconian gun laws in that state.
Yeah.
This is going to be more of your application of like the Ninth Circuit's application where they say armed equals dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got the protective sweep of the vehicle, you got the frisk of him, you got the protective sweep of the vehicle.
Actually, that's a good point too. John makes. He says, why not just if you have armed and dangerous, and he's going to return to that vehicle, which at this point he's not under arrest. Why don't you just do a protective sweep and not worry about the EOD dog?
I never even thought of that as a possibility.
That's actually kind of clever. That's actually probably the way to do it, because that would also be, I mean, it's credible too, right? It's like, hey, I have this reasonable suspicion that he has a gun in there, and guns dangerous, right? So in New Jersey, right now he's under arrest. He's not under arrest. Just sweep it, and hopefully you find the gun. But if you don't find the gun, maybe just call it a day and let him go.
All right.
Now that is a passenger compartment search. I do know that. You're not looking in the air. You're not looking in the engine compartment on that one, or the trunk, generally speaking. But okay, that's good. I like that.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. Zach, what do you got? I see
So
you opening up the good book.
Lefebvre agrees.
What verse?
Lefebvre agrees that it's just the passenger compartment.
Tell me, because
it's premised on Belton.
Sean put the quote in here, and it says in the vehicle. So what does Lefebvre say exactly? Is there like a quick quote that can?
This is to the argument that the trunk should be considered. He says, while the point is well taken, it is doubted that such an extension would or should be recognized. It's the Gant evidence search for evidence rule is likely to be construed to permit the kind of search allowed by Belton only, which is a passenger compartment search.
Well, I got to tell you, in Vegas, man, we did not just search a passenger compartment under Belton. We were tossing the whole damn car,
And
including.
so I also have this case from South Carolina, called Robinson, and they upheld the search of the trunk, but they said we're going to consider it a part of the passenger compartment because it is accessible from inside the passenger compartment. Like I
Okay.
think in this case, the seat folded down.
Yeah, or maybe like a pass-through, like a Honda Accord.
Yeah. So therefore they're presuming passenger compartment is the limitation without articulation of access. And like I said, I just think because we're premised on Belton in the first place, that just makes sense.
All
We're
right,
also searching on a lower standard than probable cause.
I'm going to call Alito tomorrow. I'm going to call Thomas. I don't think Wayne Lefebvre got this right, but no. But look, that kind of helps. Something still. I wish it wasn't right because it just doesn't feel right to me. But I also, what's the Sanders case, John?
We're asking about protective sweeps in vehicles.
Well, why not just put Michigan versus Long in there?
It's coming right now, man. It's coming right now. All right.
Okay.